Go ahead and start with Trace Travers. Go ahead, Trace.
Yeah, Coach. One question I think is going to go quick is how is Coin doing? Is he on track to play Saturday?
Coin is doing all right. I would call him doubtful for the game. We're holding out some hope, but it's looking doubtful right now. So, the medical professionals and Coin are all huddling to see what the options are currently.
And Trey Pastor as well?
Trey will be up and going for the game.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move to Jim McGill. Go ahead, Jim.
Coach, I know you don't like to get into the realm of excuses at all, but what kind of effect do you feel like the Temps had in the second half with fatigue on the defense? They just didn't seem to be up to their typical tackling self.
Yeah, there's no doubt we tackled worse as the game wore on. There's probably a number of factors there, but our job as a defense is to play well and get off the field. And regardless of the circumstances that are out of our control, we have to do that. And each and every week there are challenges, personnel, scheme, maybe the location, maybe it's weather, but the other team's playing in it too. And we got to find ways to get off the field. And there were a number of opportunities that we had defensively to get off the field on Saturday, and a number of opportunities offensively to stay on the field that really had nothing to do with weather. So that's what we need to focus on fixing.
What's your sense of how the team has regrouped from the loss this weekend? Are they rebounding solidly mentally, and you feel like they're going to be coming primed for a good game Saturday?
Yeah, we've got a resilient group of guys who expect more from us as a team and more from themselves individually, which is what we want. And it's the mood. There's a chip on the shoulder for sure. I mean, there needs to be with all of us, myself and all of us as coaches. I mean, we do this to win, and you spend a lot of time and energy and preparation, and the guys work out all year, and you want to be rewarded for those efforts, and we haven't done enough in the last 2 weeks to do that. So there's definitely an edge at practice, and that's okay. That's what we need.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll go to Jake Curtis. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, regarding Coin, you say he's doubtful for this weekend, but I was among those who thought it might be even more serious than that. I mean, is it sort of, I don't want to say good news, but better than it might have been?
There's just not enough information yet to give you anything more, Jake. I'm not a doctor. The doctors and the specialists, in sports med, they're the ones that consult with the player and decide what's next. The coaches, we receive the news, and so once we know anything certain, we'll report it. But right now, there's not enough information to determine that. So it's still being discussed with those people who are experts.
So the prognosis is still to be determined, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of meetings, and the doctors have to look at things, and Coin needs to talk to them, and there's more than one opinion. So there's just a lot that's being determined that's not for me to discuss. My job is to, we as coaches have a team to field, and whoever's available, that's what we're going to do. And right now it's doubtful that Coin would play on Saturday. And when we know more, then we'll let you know.
Okay, Trace Travers again. Go ahead, Trace.
In the assumption that Coin will not play, DC Braxton or Bimage or Oren kind of filling those reps, or
yeah, all the above. Bimage did some good things. Mm-hmm. He's really had a strong camp. Braxton, as we know, solid performer, strong, sturdy guy. And so both those guys can give us some reps. Oren just got to be more consistent with the down in and down out. Oren does some really good things rushing the quarterback. Got to be more consistent on first and second down. And we're also repping a couple of those younger guys more in practice. So we'll see where that takes us Saturday, but I would expect those three to carry the majority of those reps.
Do you, I guess this may be a bit of a silly question, but do you see any of those guys as a clear-cut starter in place of Dang, or is it kind of a team effort there?
Yeah, I think between Bimage and Braxton, those two kind of leading it off, and then situationally Oren. That's probably how we would go into it. And depending again, how many snaps are we playing? What's the tempo like? How's Cam doing? Cam obviously is a heck of a player, playing really good for us right now. But if we need to get him a couple reps off, so all those things would play into it.
Yeah. And on another note, the commissioner George Kliavkov came to visit you guys yesterday, and I guess today. How is it getting to talk with him a bit more and his vision for what the conference should be?
I was in meetings with football, and so Mr. Knowlton was the one discussing the bigger picture things with him. I think in the off season, we'll probably, in our Pac-12 meetings and some of those venues that are, you have a little more time to talk about football or our team specifically, maybe talk to them then. But right now we're just, we're working on Sac State.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, Jim McGill had a follow-up. Go ahead, Jim.
And back to linebacker, was Oren limited physically at all? I don't think I saw him out there too many snaps.
No, he's not.
Okay. Is he more of a primary backup on Cam's side, or does it really matter?
Not really. It doesn't really matter. I mean, those guys can play either side. Some of the way we play Cam and Coyne, or Cam and Braxton and those guys, there are some certain techniques that get used a little bit more in certain spots, but for the most part, we can swap them back and forth. But no, it wasn't an injury or anything that kept him out.
Okay. And in the defensive backfield, obviously Lou got some playing time and has shown some good things. Are there any of the other redshirt freshmen or freshmen that are pushing for playing time at all? With a little uneven back there.
Yeah, not quite yet. But it's, we're early in the season and we're still continuing to develop those guys. We like some of those young DBs. They just need some seasoning and some experience, and they got to practice and learn what to do. Lou has done some really good things. Lou's a very steady guy. I mean, he's learned the defense quickly. It makes sense to him. And he competes hard. And so we're looking forward to Lou even playing a few more reps this week. And he's had a good week of practice. And, I think he's got a bright future.
With Chiggy's physical attributes and his pretty extensive experience, were you hoping to see more consistency out of him?
I think Chiggy would tell you the same. Yeah, that there's some plays in the first couple of weeks that we would expect Chiggy to make. He would expect to make as well. And I think now it's just, making sure that he's focused in on technique, the play call, the technique, and, keeping that focus really small and not maybe worrying about too many other things. And so I think he's totally capable of that, and he's put that on tape in practice, and now we just have to transfer that practice to the game.
Thanks.
I think Jake Curtis has another one. Go ahead, Jake.
Quarterback, he's sort of a dual threat guy like Duggan, I guess.
Yep. Exactly that. I mean, he's run the ball and thrown it. He's, they use him as a lot of these, spread offenses do, to create numbers in the run game. He can also just scramble when it's a called pass, but he can make something happen with his feet. So not only just a designed QB runs, but I think he's done a good job. I mean, there's a reason he's their starting quarterback. And I mean, Troy knows offense and knows how to coach that position. So I know he's getting educated really well.
Anybody with the final question for Coach? Okay.